Third-person perspective. The story opens on the peaceful world of Kepler 442b, home to the Valania, species of gentle, blue-skinned beings who have lived in harmony for centuries. Their crystal cities gleam under twin suns, and their society focuses on art, philosophy, and peaceful coexistence. Ambassador Kira of the Valani Collective sits in the emergency council chamber, her delicate hands trembling as she reviews the latest reports. The Ravagers, a nomadic species of brutal conquerors, have swept through 3 neighboring systems in the past month. Their massive war fleets strip planets bare, enslaving populations and consuming resources before moving on like cosmic locusts. Council members speak in hushed tones. Their defensive fleets are designed for exploration and peaceful contact, not warfare. Against the Ravagers' battle-hardened armadas, they stand no chance. We must reach out to the Galactic Council. Elder Tam suggests, his voice heavy with desperation. The Council moves too slowly, Kira replies. By the time they organize a response, our worlds will be ash. A junior diplomat named Ren bursts into the chamber with urgent news. Long-range sensors have detected the Ravager advance fleet. They will reach Valani space in 6 standard days. The Council falls silent. Then Kira remembers something from the Galactic. Databases whispers of a young species from a death world called Earth, humans. They had recently joined the Galactic community, and their planet was classified as one of the most dangerous in known space. If anyone could help them fight the Ravagers, it would be these deathworlders. With no other options, Kira authorizes an emergency transmission to Earth. The message is simple. We are a peaceful people facing annihilation. We ask for your help. The transmission rockets through space toward the blue-green world orbiting a yellow star, carrying the desperate hopes of an entire civilization. Third-person perspective on Earth. Admiral Jake Morrison stands in the United Earth Defense Force Command Center, reviewing routine patrol reports. The 45-year-old veteran has seen humanity's rapid expansion into space over the past decade. Most alien species they've encountered have been peaceful, almost timid compared to humans. Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez approaches with an urgent communication from the Outer Rim. Admiral, we're receiving a distress call from the Valani Collective. They're requesting immediate military assistance. Morrison reviews the transmission. The Valani's message includes tactical data about the Ravagers' species it has conquered. Dozens of worlds through sheer brutality. Their ships are massive, their weapons devastating, and they show no mercy to civilian populations. Sir, according to Galactic records, no one has ever successfully stopped a Ravager invasion, Rodriguez reports. Morrison studies the data with growing interest. The Ravagers fight like bullies overwhelming weaker opponents through superior numbers and firepower. But their tactics are crude, relying on intimidation rather than strategy. They've never faced humans before, Morrison says with a grim smile. Within hours, the call goes out across human space. The response is immediate and overwhelming. Human colonies, corporate fleets, and independent captains all volunteer for the mission. Humanity has always had a soft spot for the underdog, and the Valani's plight strikes a chord. Captain Lisa Park of the UED destroyer Vengeance volunteers her ship and crew. Captain Mike Chun leads a squadron of fighter pilots eager to test their skills against a real enemy. Even civilian cargo ships offer to join the relief fleet, their crews ready to retrofit their vessels for combat. The human fleet assembles at the edge of Valani Space 200 ships ranging from massive dreadnoughts to nimble corvettes. It's not the largest fleet in human history, but it's the most motivated. Morrison addresses the combined fleet via hologram. The Valani asked for help, and we're going to give it to them. These Ravagers think they can terrorize peaceful worlds without consequence. Today, they learn what happens when you mess with someone under human protection. The human fleet drops out of hyperspace at the edge of the Vellani system, their arrival, creating brilliant flashes of light that can be seen from the planet's surface. Ambassador Kira watches from the capital city's observation deck, hardly daring to hope that the human ships are unlike anything in the galactic databases. Where most species build sleek, elegant vessels, human ships are angular, heavily armored, and bristling with weapons. They look exactly like what they are, tools of war, built by a species that has spent millennia perfecting the art of destruction. Admiral Morrison's face appears on Kira's communication screen. The human scarred. Features and steely eyes would terrify most species, but to Kira, he looks like salvation. Ambassador Kira, this is Admiral Morrison of the United Earth Defense Force. We received your message. Where are these Ravagers? Before Kira can respond, alarms begin blaring across the Vellani homeworld. The Ravager Advance Fleet has arrived 50. Massive ships that dwarf even the largest human vessels. Their dark hulls are covered in weapons, and their very presence seems to drain light from the surrounding space. War Chief Grek of the Ravagers opens a channel to the planet's surface, his reptilian features twisted in cruel amusement. Vellani, insects, you will surrender your world and your people, or we will take them by force. You have 1 hour to... Morrison's voice cuts through the transmission. This is Admiral Morrison of the human fleet. You are ordered to leave this system. Immediately. Grak's laugh is like grinding stone. Humans? We have heard whispers of your pathetic species. You dare threaten the Ravager Armada with your toy ships? Sir, Lieutenant Rodriguez whispers to Morrison, their vessels outgun us 3-1. Morrison's response is broadcast on an open channel, so both the Ravagers and Vellani can hear. Then it's a fair fight. The human fleet moves into attack formation with military precision. Unlike the Ravagers' crude wedge formation, the humans deploy in a complex pattern that maximizes their firepower while minimizing their exposure. Grek realizes, too late, that he's facing something he's never encountered before, a species that doesn't fear death, that sees impossible odds as merely another challenge to overcome. All ships, Morrison commands, weapons free. Show these bullies what deathworlders can do. Asterisk third-person perspective space erupts in violence as the human fleet engages the Ravager advance guard. A contrast between the two fighting styles is immediately apparent. The Ravagers rely on brute force and intimidation, while the humans fight with tactical brilliance and coordinated precision. Captain Park's destroyer Vengeance leads a squadron of frigates in a daring attack run on the Yussi. Ravager flagship. The enemy ship's massive plasma cannons track her vessel, but Park's ship dances between the shots with impossible agility. All fighters, this is Captain Shun. We're going in, the fighter squadron leader announces as his craft screams toward the enemy formation. The human fighters are smaller and faster than anything the Ravagers have faced, darting between the massive enemy ships like angry wasps. War Chief Grek watches in growing disbelief as his seemingly invincible fleet takes heavy damage. The human ships fight with a ferocity that defies logic. When one of their vessels is damaged, instead of retreating, it rams itself into a Ravager cruiser, both ships exploding in a brilliant fireball. What manner of madness is this? Grek roars at his tactical officer. Sir, they're not retreating even when facing certain destruction. Our psychological warfare protocols are useless against them. On the Vellani homeworld, Ambassador Kira and her people watch the battle in amazement. The humans fight like beings possessed, their ships weaving through enemy fire with supernatural skill. Every shot they fire seems to find its mark, every maneuver calculated for maximum effect. Admiral Morrison coordinates the battle from his command ship, his tactical display showing the ebb and flow of combat. The humans are outnumbered, but their superior tactics and unbreakable will are evening the odds. Rodriguez, order the Defiant and Courage to flank that dreadnought. Captain Park, I need you to draw their fire while Chun's fighters target their engines. The battle rages for 3 hours. The Ravagers lose ship after ship to the relentless human assault. Their formations crumble under the pressure of coordinated attacks that seem to come from everywhere at once. Asterisk. Finally, War Chief Grak's flagship finds itself isolated and surrounded. The human ships circle like predators, their weapons trained on the massive vessel. Morrison's voice crackles across the communication channels. Surrender now, and we'll let you live. Continue fighting, and we'll turn your ship into scrap metal. Grak's pride wars with his survival instincts. He's never retreated from a battle, but he's also never faced an enemy like this. The humans fight with the fury of cornered beasts, but with the precision of master strategists. Third-person perspective. The Ravager flagship's weapons power down. War Chief Grak's voice comes over the communication channel, heavy with defeat and confusion. We surrender, humans. But tell me, how did you defeat us so easily? We are the terror of the galaxy. Entire star systems flee at our approach. Admiral. Morrison's response is matter-of-fact. You're bullies? We've been dealing with bullies for thousands of years. The secret is simple: hit them back twice as hard. The remaining Ravager ships retreat from the system, their crews traumatized by their first military defeat in generations. Word of the human victory spreads quickly through Ravager space, and for the first time in their history, the nomadic conquerors begin to fear. On the Valani homeworld, celebrations erupt in every city. The gentle blue-skinned beings have been saved by the most unlikely of heroes, a species from a deathworld who fought with such skill and courage that they turned certain defeat into overwhelming victory. Ambassador. Kira meets with Admiral Morrison aboard his flagship. The human command ship is a study in efficient brutality. Every surface serves a purpose. Every system designed for maximum combat effectiveness. Admiral, how can we ever repay you? Kira asks. Morrison shrugs. You asked for help. We helped. That's what decent people do. But surely you want something in return. Territory? Resources? Trade agreements? The Admiral looks genuinely confused. We came here to stop bullies from hurting innocent people. Mission accomplished. As the human fleet prepares to return to Earth, they leave behind a changed galaxy. The Valani Collective begins sharing the story of their salvation, and soon other peaceful species are requesting human protection. Captain Park reports to Morrison. Sir, we're receiving requests for assistance from 12 different worlds. Apparently, word of our victory has spread. Morrison considers this development. Humanity has always been protective of the innocent, and the galaxy seems full of species that need protection. Send a message to Earth Command, he decides. Tell them we're going to need a bigger fleet. The new Galactic Order third-person perspective 6 months after the Battle of Villani Prime. The galaxy has fundamentally changed. The human fleet has grown from 200 ships to over 2,000, with new vessels rolling off Earth's shipyards every day. Humanity has found its purpose among the stars, not as conquerors, but as protectors. Admiral Morrison now commands the Galactic Protection Force, a joint human-alien organization dedicated to defending peaceful worlds. The headquarters orbits Villani Prime, a symbol of what can be achieved when courage meets compassion. The Ravagers, once the terror of the galaxy, have been reduced to scattered bands of pirates. Their great fleet was shattered in a dozen battles against human forces, and their survivors have learned to avoid any system under human protection. War Chief Grak, now a prisoner on a human rehabilitation facility, studies recordings of the battles that destroyed his people's empire. He's beginning to understand what made the humans so effective. They fight not for conquest or glory, but for something far more powerful: the protection of those who cannot protect themselves. They are not warriors. he tells his human guard. They are guardians. That is why we could never defeat them. The guard, a young Marine named Tom, nods. My grandfather used to say that the strongest people are those who use their strength to protect the weak. That's what we do. Throughout the galaxy, the phrase human protection has become synonymous with safety. Peaceful species that once lived in fear of raiders and conquerors now thrive under the umbrella of human defense fleets. Ambassador Kira, now the Galactic Council's liaison to the human fleet, watches from her office as human ships patrol the Lani system. The sight never fails to fill her with gratitude and wonder. Captain Park, now commanding a heavy cruiser, leads a squadron on patrol near the Galactic Rim. Her mission briefing is simple: protect the innocent, stop the bullies, and remind the galaxy that someone is watching. The galaxy has learned an important lesson. Never underestimate a species that calls the most dangerous planet in known space home. When peaceful beings called for help, the deathworlders answered, not with conquest or domination, but with the one thing bullies fear most: someone willing to stand up to them. As Admiral Morrison reviews the latest patrol reports, he reflects on humanity's role in the galaxy. They didn't set out to become the galaxy's protectors, but sometimes destiny chooses you rather than the other way around. The final scene shows a small human patrol ship responding to a distress call from a remote mining colony. The ship's captain, a young woman named Lisa, opens a channel to the threatened world. This is the UED Guardian. We received your distress call. Help is on the way. In the depths of space, the message travels at light speed, carrying with it a promise that has become humanity's gift to the galaxy. No one who asks for help will be abandoned. No bully will go unchallenged, and no peaceful world will fall while humans draw breath. The deathworlders have found their purpose among the stars, and the galaxy is safer for it. Asterisk.